since I put the video out about the experience I had with the jelly-like structure appearing in front of my friend and I when we were on a ski trip in Colorado, I've had some questions. If you aren't sure what video I'm talking about, I'll link it in the description. Before I get into the questions, I just want to say, and if I hadn't gotten some really mean messages, I wouldn't have to address this, but I am not in any way trying to profit from anyone's misfortune. I've had some unique experiences in my life, and I think that maybe putting my experiences out there and having conversations with people could lead to some sort of resolution. I don't know, maybe it can't, but because there's a chance it could, I can't just, ignore it. None of my videos on any of this are monetized. I have money. I don't need money. I need money about as much as I need an asshole's opinion. So, all right. The first question are really the most common, and this is pretty unoriginal because anytime you have an experience like this, people ask you, are you on drugs? And when this happened in Colorado, I was 16 years old. I was on a ski trip with my youth group. So no, I wasn't on drugs. I have taken drugs in my life, but I have never had any experience on drugs like the ones I've had when I've been sober as a judge. So no, I was not on drugs. Were either of you wearing bright colored clothing? I had on a white coat and pants, and she had on a bright pink coat. Have you experienced portals prior to that incident or since? Okay, yes. Prior to, I had some pretty interesting experiences at my grandmother's house when I was a kid. That's a story for another day. But yes, I have. None, though, that were appeared to be predatory. None that just manifested in front of me. When I was a kid, I didn't know what a portal was. So I just called them space pockets. I know what it feels like to slip into one, but this was nothing like that. What do you make of the dazed look that the missing have? Okay, so when you find yourself in another dimension, I don't know how else to say it. When you find yourself not in Kansas anymore, it's a big shock to your sensory system. It's overload, especially if you've never experienced anything like that. So I imagine it's shock from that. It's really intense. I can only speculate. I don't know. I've never seen anyone recovered after they've been missing for a length of time, so I don't know. But that would be my best guess. Did you experience a primal fear response? Okay. Yes, I started feeling really strange that morning, and it intensified leading up to this incident. The way I experienced that primal fear is like a bombardment of information coming in, and I'm trying so hard to translate it as quick as possible. So when this happened, I was hyper vigilant, and oddly enough, the girl that was with me had the dazed look about her. Have you spoken to the other girl who was with you recently? Okay. First, you're going to have to understand a little bit about my background. I was not a cool kid. I had this reputation of being weird, they'd call me a witch. So my first sleepover in first grade, they were playing the Bloody Mary game, and we would get thrown into the bathroom. And of course, I was the first one to go in, and they cut off all the lights and splashed water on the mirror, whatever. And so then when they opened the door and turned the light on, the bulb blew, and they all decided that I did that, that I'm the reason the bulb blew. And then I guess it was the next year, second grade maybe, this kid comes up and spits in my face. And okay, so I said, whatever you do to hurt me will only hurt you worse. And so then he runs, jumps on the monkey bars, and he falls and he breaks his arm. So I call that instant karma. My classmates, however, called it witchcraft. So, everyone thought that I was strange. So I would say things sometimes, and then they would happen. And I never knew. I never knew when I was saying it that it would happen. And I went through a period where I didn't talk for a while because it scared me. I thought I was causing difficult things to happen to people, which was not true. I guess I was picking up on some sort of, who knows, but I didn't know it when I was saying it. Anyway, the girl I was with, she thought that I was the reason this thing manifested in front of us. She believed that I called it in some way. So I messaged her right before I put the video up to see what she remembered about it, if she had anything to say. She blocked me, so that's that. Were there any sort of strange smells? No, not that I can remember. I mean, the smell of snow and tree bark. We hit those trees really hard to keep from hitting the people that were standing in the middle of the trail. I was bruised, like, from the bottom of my boob all the way down my right leg. It was painful. Did you experience any sort of telepathic communication? Okay, and this person was sure to make a distinction between an internal dialogue and telepathic communication. I'm aware of the difference between my internal dialogue and what a telepathic transfer is, because I have experienced those a lot, but I did not in this instance. What do you think would have happened if you two had walked through that thing? Goodness. I don't know. I like to think I would have realized it and been able to get out, but who knows? Because I've never seen anything like that. I can't really say. I mean, I imagine we wouldn't have still been on that trail. I don't know what would have happened had we walked through it. I'm glad that I didn't have to find out.